Hello, good afternoon. My name is Carmelo Leon. It is a pleasure to greet everyone during this online event devoted to presenting the report of the Global Sustainability Fellows Program. This postgraduate training program, developed in La Palma in June 2020, was organized by the Sustainability Laboratory of New York in collaboration with University of Las Palmas de Gran Canaria and the University of La Laguna. The regional universities are very committed to quality education for a sustainable future. For this reason, they are very grateful for the initiative presented by the New York Sustainability Lab to carry out this program on the island of La Palma as a necessary response for a sustainability and holistic perspective to the crisis generated by the volcanic eruption of 2021 and its social impact. In this presentation, the program leaders and participants will intervene, explaining the program's conclusions in terms of the recognition and study carried out on the island and the society of La Palma. In the near future, the intention is to propose a regenerative vision to achieve an integral sustainable development where everyone feels represented, participates, and receives the benefits and advantages of a better quality of life and social well-being while respecting the necessary and fragile ecosystemic balances and the natural environment. Thus, today's session aims to present a future perspective for La Palma generated through a participatory methodology based on education and training for the island sustainability. To open this session, we first have the honor of receiving a few words from the Vice President of the Cabildo de La Palma, Mr. Fernando González. He will be followed by Mr. Michael Benelli, the Director of the Sustainability Lab in New York. To continue, Vanessa Armendariz, the Director of the Global Sustainability Agents Program and Director of the program La Palma, will give a brief presentation of the results. These two presentations will be followed by a reflection on the program participants, who Paula Clemente will represent, and then the professor of the University of La Laguna, Carlos Fernandez, the course organizer, will speak on behalf of the University of La Laguna. To inaugurate the presentation of the report and the event, we give the floor to the Vice President of the Cabildo of La Palma, Mr. Fernando González Negrin, and also Energy Councillor. The floor is yours. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate you on this event, presenting a synthesis on the work carried out. Likewise, I would like to apologize for the absence of the President of the Islands Council, who I am sure would have loved to be present during this inauguration. Congratulations on this event to present the report La Palma Posible, Creando un futuro sostenible para la isla. This document summarizes the vision and reflection of the Global Sustainability Agents Program promoted by the New York Sustainability Lab in collaboration with the universities of Las Palmas de Gran Canaria and La Laguna. We would like to give our special thanks to the laboratory director, Dr. Michael Bonelli, a true eminence in the world of sustainability. The program had the support and backing of several public and private institutions, both regional and insular, including the La Palma Island Council through its environmental and tourism departments and the World Biosphere Reserve Foundation, of which the Council holds the presidency. I can only express my deepest gratitude to all those who contributed to this initiative, including public and private organizations, experts, and professionals who made this work possible. The participants invested 2 months of work and theoretical analysis online and spent 3 weeks on the island of La Palma in July. We would therefore like to thank the teaching staff and the international affiliates who have provided us with this immediate presentation of the report we have today. It is a document in the context of La Palma within the framework of a process of resilience that the island had undergone after a volcanic catastrophe. Its vocation is to seek harmony and balance of resources with a particular focus on the sustainability. The following lines of work have been developed taking into consideration the island's unique characteristics. The goal is to lead in energy management, protect natural resources, and promote economic activities that have minimal impact on the environment and human well-being. Recently, the European Commission selected La Palma as Clean Island 2030. This initiative aims to promote sustainability and renewable energy transition. The La Palma Island Council is committed to furthering this vision and making the island a model of sustainability. This means prioritizing the economic activity that serves the people while preserving natural and environmental values. The goal is to create a living sustainability laboratory and set an example for other administration. We will collaborate with other administrations at the Public University of the Canary Islands to achieve our goal. We thank the New York Sustainability Lab for organizing this initiative on our island, following 2 successful events held in Israel and Costa Rica. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Fernando. Next, we will listen to Mr. Dr. Michael Benelli, the founder and director of the Sustainability Laboratory, who will share his thoughts. As mentioned earlier, Dr. Benelli inspired the training program for Global Sustainability Fellows and brought this proposal to La Palma and the Canary Islands.
Thank you. Buen día a todas y todos. Thank you, Carmelo. And hello, everyone. Let me share with you briefly a few words about the Sustainability Laboratory and about our Global Sustainability Fellows program. The Sustainability Laboratory is an independent, not-for-profit research, development, and education organization established in order to develop and demonstrate innovative approaches to sustainability practices, expanding prospects, and producing positive, life-affirming impacts on people and ecosystems in all parts of the world. To guide its activities, the lab developed its own action-oriented conceptual framework, the lab's signature approach, if you will, which combines system thinking and a system-based design approach, a pioneering theory of change and managing change processes, and a rigorous definition of the term sustainability, along with a set of 5 core sustainability principles. We apply this framework to everything that we do, actual development projects and educational programs alike, always thriving to achieve deep transformation. As you can see here, an example, in one of our development projects in the Negev Desert, you see the duck that is swimming here in this pond of captured rainwater is swimming in a place that only a decade ago looked like this, the bottom right picture, and today it looks like that, the top central picture, a total transformation. The lab's work is focused on developing over time a portfolio of model development projects demonstrating the application of the lab's sustainability principles. And at the same time, we are developing the lab itself as a worldwide network of activity centers mapped onto particular ecozones. And heretofore, we established activities for arid ecozones with the Ben Gurion University of the Negev in Israel, for humid and dry tropics with Earth University in Costa Rica, for alpine high altitudes ecozones with the Royal University of Bhutan, and recently in relation to island ecology with TIDES and the University of Las Palmas of the Gran Canaries. Together with colleagues in TIDES, we embarked on two initiatives: a policy research program which examined the impacts of tourism on the carrying capacity of the islands, and together with TIDES, Laguna University, and other local stakeholders, we conducted, as you know, the most recent GS session last summer here in the beautiful island of La Palma. The GSF is the lab's flagship educational program. It is designed to inspire, prepare, and mobilize young leaders to effectively tackle the sustainability challenge that we all face. It is an interdisciplinary program combining a theoretical work with hands-on experience-based learning and deep involvement in a particular locality. Last summer, we were able to work with many of you, members of the community, governments, academia, and others, to produce a new development vision for La Palma. And in the process, we made so many friends. My colleague Vanessa Armendariz, director of the program, and Paula Clemente Abad, an alumna, will tell you more about the La Palma experience. So, thank you, La Palma, for having hosted the GSF. Thank you to all who worked with us. Thank you to all who supported the program, making it possible. Thank you, everyone, for your very warm hospitality. On leaving the island last summer, I, for one, felt as if I gained a new family. Muchas gracias, and back to you, Carmelo.
Thank you, Michael. Next on the agenda is the presentation of the report and the experiences from the last edition on the island of La Palma, which took place last summer. The program director, Vanessa Armendariz, will present it. The floor is yours, Vanessa. Hello, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today, sharing this space with all the decision makers and academics from La Palma and worldwide. I will present the GSF as an educational experience and share some valuable lessons that we have learned from exploring La Palma, which has immense potential to serve as a sustainability model for an island ecosystem. I want to share with you that the Earth for All report states that we could create a resilient civilization if we spend 2 to 4% of the global gross domestic product annually on energy and food security issues. We often assume that sustainability projects are expensive, but this investment can help us regenerate sustainability. I want to offer GSF as an educational opportunity that can show us how, with a few limited resources like rooms and some money, we can achieve collaboration power. By working together, institutions can contribute materials and resources to go beyond the confines of a classroom, and make a difference in a community with an educational program. The program is not aimed at being an expertise that remains at the academic level, but to be at the service of a territory to achieve many things. This kind of collaboration between sectors, citizens, scientists, teachers, and investors can achieve great things and benefit the territory as a whole. I want to share some information about the Global Sustainability Agents Program. Those of us who participated in the project used a specific methodology and made some findings for La Palma in a shared vision for the island that is very inspiring. Our educational experience at the GSF is designed to bring together people from different countries with expertise, talents, and relevant backgrounds to address sustainability challenges in La Palma. In this case, the Sustainability Lab is implementing an initiative where participants are trained in various tools and methodologies while simultaneously working on a service challenge alongside stakeholders in a particular area. Here are some of the institutions that work hand in hand with us to make this initiative a reality. We thank our faculty, and among our faculty, three of us were part of the first generation of fellows, and now we are directing and coordinating all the program's activities. To our great allies, we have Carlos Fernandez, we have Carmelo Leon, Professor Bernard Amadei of Engineers Without Borders, Diego Barrera de Paz, local Andre Babasi, one of the most talented and for me most relevant modelers in the system dynamics area. There is Benich, who is part of our fellows and who is now also leading some geopolitics research. Mia Black, Peter Dean, Lee, Matias Gonzalez, and this integration team with Konstantin Malik. During our 3 weeks in La Palma, we use it as an educational opportunity to learn about sustainability. We participated in many meetings with local experts, citizens, and decision makers to better understand what was happening on the island. We also made field visits to explore the island and create a vision and strategic guidelines for studying what we had learned. We want to send our greetings to our fellows who were responsible for the work we will present today. And Paula will provide further details, but basically the fellows applied their knowledge of their respective disciplines to understand the island of La Palma. Our group consists of individuals from over 14 countries, and we strongly believe that our fellows' practical experience will help them make the necessary sustainable transformations in their own countries. And over 4 weeks, we were involved in a project that involved introducing concepts and methodology, interviewing stakeholders, and integrating La Palma's strategy. Before this, the fellows underwent intensive training in this type of methodology during 3 virtual weeks. We then had approximately 6 months to integrate the report we will present today. The systemic approach, system dynamics, was the methodology used, which is based on causality diagrams. During the 3 weeks on site, we focused on causality diagrams, as Michael mentioned before, and the Sustainability Lab has a simulation project, and Andre Bassi collaborated with other colleagues to assess the carrying capacity. In this case, we only used causality tools, interviewed more than 40 experts using over 430 variables identified This methodology allows us to determine the systemic structure causing our behavior and what sensitive points in the system might be needed to make the transition. To approach the sustainability, we use the signature approach of the Sustainability Laboratory. This framework examines sustainability through 5 lenses, including the dimension of life, where we explore and understand diversity, ecology, and environmental impact. We also discuss the economic dimension of the framework, which help us to understand how the economy is behaving, what values it is responding to, the legal and organizational structures, the types of company sources of income, and potential new ways of measuring wealth and managing it in La Palma. The material dimension refers to energy systems, mobility, technology, and critical infrastructure in La Palma. The social dimension encompasses education, health, welfare, governance, and intersectoral collaboration. And finally, the spiritual dimension, which is at the core of our sustainability framework. And while we use scientific tools to address sustainability challenges, we recognize that ignoring the spiritual dimension will not lead to radical solutions. When examining the values and motivations of the people of La Palma, it is essential to consider their collective commitment and spiritual dimension. We have synthesized the report's finding on La Palma by integrating system dynamics, causal diagrams, and the signature approach entity, emphasizing the importance of design in development processes. So I will present a systemic view of what we understand is operating as the current structure of La Palma. And the material dimension variables are shown in gray. And I was discussing the various aspects that contribute to the overall development of the place. In gray color, we can see things related to the material dimension. These aspects include infrastructure, water, and technology. In blue, we highlight other elements that fall under the economic dimension. In pink, the social dimension. In green color, the life dimension. In yellow, the spiritual dimension. These different dimensions are interconnected and do not have any disciplinary boundaries. The generated structure that we have today are not divided according to their disciplines. The systems we have in place today have been responsible for the current state of our lives. In this work, we have delved deeper into the material dimension of La Palma to determine its current state and potential for the future growth. We have also explored the other dimensions, such as the economic, social, life, and spiritual, to understand their impact on the development of La Palma. A detailed report is available for download for further reference. The following are the main conclusions from my report, but I encourage you to read it in full to delve deeper into each dimension. 3 significant issues are affecting the development of La Palma today. One of them is the need for economic diversification. Currently, the agriculture sector in La Palma is focused mainly on the banana market. However, in the past 10 years, namely 2010, 2021, the sector has experienced stagnation, with production averaging at only 144,000 tons, which is not keeping up with the market demand. This has made the industry dependent on subsidies to maintain its economic activity. Additionally, conventional agricultural practices need to be regenerative, increasing the demand for energy and water and adding to the infrastructure gap. So the cost of production has also increased, and the returns for La Palma have decreased, with the average annual rate decreasing in recent years. So this makes the economy overly dependent on subsidies, right? Here we see how the GDP decreases on an annual basis. So this challenge is critical and is related to the next graph presented. If there are no innovations in the island's economic activities, the young population will be lost due to immigration, leading to a higher population burden. This has been confirmed statistically and by local experts. So the decrease in the young population affects the capacity for innovation, investment in critical sectors, other talent, and infrastructure, like housing, for instance. So this impacts social organization and innovation, which is linked to the previous challenges. So another significant challenge is planning for sustainable and affordable housing, territorial cohesion, and well being. Current economic activities, which rely heavily on cultivation and monocultures, generate income inequality and affect the ability to generate visibility and long term development. This also discourages foreign investments in La Palma innovation capacity and will remain anchored to known economic activities. Here we can see the current GDP progressively decreases. So, this critical issue is linked to the next chart. The impossibility of generating more income affects the possibility of having shared visions, the possibility of generating long term development nuclei, which discourages foreign investments, affecting the capacity for innovation in economic activities, in other types of agriculture, and this makes us remain anchored to the economic activities we are familiar with. So, the transition toward La Palma's potential, we need to understand the points of intervention of systemic level. We detected several pairs, like the one related to a shared vision of a sustainable future and developing short, medium, and long term development plans that can respond to this vision. We also need to set goals and indicators that go beyond the GDP. Additionally, investing in a new economic model for La Palma can bring supply and innovative jobs to reverse the demographic challenge and change conventional tourism towards regenerative tourism. We highly recommend reviewing the findings of this model. These findings can provide important insights for decision makers on the potential impact of continued conventional tourism and the shift toward agroecology. In terms of strategic guidelines, there are three key areas to be considered. On the one hand, we have a cross sectoral visualization of sustainable development for La Palma needs to be established. A process for implementation needs to be developed to ensure that the vision becomes a reality. And we prioritize three critical areas on the island: agroecological production systems to ensure food security, regenerative tourism on the island, and sustainable energy and water infrastructure that considers the island's delicate biosphere. As part of our research, we looked into several agendas of the isle, including geothermal energy and water supply for desalination. Sustainable development focusing on energy and water infrastructure is crucial, as other options pose significant risks to the island's interconnected life systems. Our strategic approach involves setting new goals and indicators for sustainable development and well being based on long term plans for the island. We aim to attract investment towards a new economic model that prioritizes innovation, employment, and financial activities to address demographic challenges. We have some strategic guidelines categorized by domain. While we won't go into them in depth, we want to highlight that as we delve deeper into life, material goods, and society, we find that these guidelines complement each other. Significant goals include energy sufficiency, population well being, sociological resilience, and food security. Specifically, we want to emphasize that our activities and strategic guidelines in the social domain, which are indicated in pink, involve activating economic, social, and care based activities that focus on rescuing the cultural heritage of La Palma. It is essential to generate these activities since they can catalyze systemic effects in several areas instead of relying on social policies that only provide access to housing or create more jobs. What is crucial is the type of job that is created, and in this case, it should be focused on rescuing cultural heritage. We discovered that it is critical to build extensive structures at the educational and governance level that rescue the spirit and intergenerational integration in the spiritual dimension. And on the economic level, it is necessary to build environments that aim towards resilience and economic diversification. The proposed economic activities should focus on these areas. Innovation is critical, infrastructure is crucial at the material level to unlock the island's potential and attracting migration. This involves sustainable island planning and addressing housing goals. Synergistic structures for ecosystem management, innovation, and strategic adaptation to climate change are seen as essential to improving the quality of life. In the short term, the strategic guidelines aim to build the foundations necessary for a sustainable transition in La Palma. These foundations include establishing collaboration agreements between institutional university entities in La Palma and other parts of the world, implementing governance on the island, and starting to see which are the necessary protection measures to protect the economy. In the medium term, investments must focus on creating economic, energy, and infrastructure environments at the island level. As outlined in the recommendations, it is essential to differentiate between creating an economic policy and building an economic island planning or energy environment. It's important to consider how to create ecosystems and environments that will attract the necessary investment for sustainable and regenerative critical infrastructure. And over time, we expect these island systems to consolidate at the energy, economic, and governance levels. La Palma faces significant sustainability challenges, including different agendas from external sources and markets, and the need to create a shared vision and pact for the island's future. So, after listening to several experts and consulting with the public, we have concluded that the island of La Palma has the potential to become a healthy ecosystem laboratory with high levels of well being and quality of life. By implementing sustainable technology and infrastructure practices, the island can move towards self sufficiency, prosperity, and the regeneration of its people and the place. La Palma has all the necessary physical resources, a rich cultural heritage, and the willpower that made this program possible. La Palma is well equipped for the task. We would like to quickly go through these slides to showcase the number of citizens, experts, and decision makers involved in this initiative to generate in 3 weeks, a record time, a deep and systemic analysis of La Palma that inspires a vision of possibilities. So I want to thank everyone from the GSF who trusted us. And I also thank our fellow members who we are very proud of. And lastly, I would like to pass the word to Carmelo and thank you for connecting this call. Thank you very much, Vanessa, for delivering an excellent and inspiring presentation. We will now hear from Paula Clemente, who will represent the group that actively participated in this program. And Paula contributed with her ideas, efforts, and reflections on La Palma to propose the vision we are presenting today. So over to you, Paula. Thank you, Carmelo. Good afternoon, everyone. It is exciting to be here with you today. My name is Paula Clemente, and I participated in the 2023 Global Sustainability Agents Program held in La Palma. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Michael, Vanessa, Carmelo, and Carlos for inviting me to this session. I am particularly impressed with the teams whose members share this vision and have this compromise with sustainability. Thank you for creating such a positive and inspiring environment. So, to begin with, I want to try to convey to you how this program was a unique experience. It was not only an educational experience, but it was also a total immersion into action where we were challenged to apply what we were learning in time. La Palma was a wonderful place to learn. We significantly contributed knowledge from members of the center group, experts, stakeholders, members of the La Palma community, and other program participants. As a result, our experience was enriching and transformative, both personally and professionally. Through the program, we were able to adopt a systemic perspective and learn about a unique approach and model presented by Vanessa from the New York Sustainability Lab. This approach considers the global challenges of sustainability holistically, encompassing all dimensions, including social, economic, and environmental elements. We learn how to visualize their interactions and use tools like causality diagrams. And according to my experience when dealing with sustainability issues at any global level, as a systemic approach and the tools we have learned are beneficial and applicable in every part of the world. The program involves extensive interdisciplinary collaboration and working alongside individuals from diverse fields and regions around the world. This not only enriched our perspective, but also fostered connections that extended beyond the program itself. We arrived on the island as strangers, but we ended up becoming friends and allies who are committed to sustainable development. I am very grateful for sharing this experience and would like to take this opportunity to send you a very warm greeting. The program took place on La Palma, an island with abundant resources, natural beauty, unique ecosystems, a passionate population, a rich culture, and a beacon of scientific excellence. La Palma was our school and laboratory where we practiced our learning. It was also our home where we lived together for 3 weeks, and La Palma will always hold a special place in my heart. This experience helped me reconnect with my commitment and ambition to contribute significantly to the sustainable future of the island and our planet too. Throughout the program, we worked with several individuals and groups, including Vanessa and members of the La Palma community. They provided us with valuable knowledge and experience that help us understand and interact with the island's reality. We examined factors such as the social welfare, economics, environment, energy, and infrastructure, as well as the island's culture and spiritual connection. The individuals who participated in our project were invaluable in providing insights into the diverse culture and environment of the island. Their contribution was crucial in helping us tackle the task of creating a collective vision for the sustainable future of La Palma. The shared vision was documented in the report Vanessa presented to us. I want to share a personal reflection regarding La Palma. We are at a crucial moment when we have the opportunity to transform and change our ways. We need to shift our perspective from short term to long term and start working towards a sustainable future. This is a critical moment when we can begin to steer our course towards the vision of the future that we collectively created during the program on the island. La Palma has the potential to become a leader in sustainable energy strategies and set an example for the world. It is inspiring that it has been selected as one of the 30 pioneer European islands to achieve 100% renewable energy by 2030. Interdisciplinary collaboration requires partnership between institutions and universities and the inclusion of different perspectives and generations in decision making. Today's program and event are great examples of interdisciplinary and international collaboration. So today, I invite you all to continue working together to make La Palma a model of resilience and sustainability. I am grateful for the valuable knowledge and personal growth you shared with us throughout the program. Thank you. Thank you, Paula. Carmelo is having some technical glitches. So thanks for sharing your international experience. And you also represent the program. Well, my name is Carlos Fernandez. And before proceeding, we invite Professor Michael Benelli to summarize this part of the presentation. It's worth noting that this is a simultaneous presentation with participants in different locations, including Paula in the United Arab Emirates, Vanessa in Mexico, and Michael in New York. So having the opportunity from this view is also a resource to see visions, people with internationalized cultural backgrounds approaching this reality and trying to extract what has been shared so far and will continue to do so for the rest of the session today. So, Michael, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Vanessa, and thank you, Paula. You all heard a lot about systems today. What may seem like an esoteric theoretical undertaking is hugely important practically. Why? To understand, let's first ask, what is a system? A system is usually defined as a complex of elements in mutual interaction. Note the term interaction. It doesn't say a complex of elements. The emphasis is on mutual interactions. Hello? No. Sylvia, can you? Okay. So the emphasis is on mutual interactions. The point is that no single element in a system is completely independent. The great system thinking pioneer Russell Lakoff pointed out that in a system, every element is impacted, and it is impacts all at least one other elements, and usually more. This is critical. Think about it. It means that if you are serious about improving, reforming, or bringing about deep change in a system, you cannot achieve this by focusing on this or that part separately and alone. You can see what I'm driving at. The sustainability challenges that we face on the planet are multifaceted, complex, and interrelated. One can argue, in fact, that the sustainability crisis that is engulfing us with its multiple symptoms, including climate change, biodiversity loss, desertification, issues of potable water, food security, and more, are all a result of the fragmented, linear, reductionist way of thinking and doing that characterizes our current civilization. Now, what is true for the planet holds true for the beautiful island of La Palma. And here too, addressing the sustainability related issues of economic and social development and ecosystem health needs to be tackled in a systems way. The painful impacts of the volcanic eruption stimulated broad-based thinking and discussion, even if mostly informal, about the future direction of the island. The island seems to be in a crossroad. As we interacted with many of you during the summer, two things stood out. A genuine interest to commit to the prerogatives of sustainable development, and a desire for breaking through beyond the conventions and limitations of business as usual. Taking step in these directions will require rethinking much of what currently may seem the norm. It will call for a special, dedicated, concerted effort, organized in dynamic, creative new ways to ensure that the long-term viability, prosperity, and well-being of all. It would be wonderful if you could go on to develop the islands wisely and without harming its precious intrinsic values, cultural, social, and ecological alike. You are all blessed with a real treasure here, and you could collectively decide to commit and take things even one bold step further. You could dedicate and make the islands of La Palma a world-class model showcasing a thoughtful, innovative example for development in a fragile island ecosystem everywhere. We at the lab would be honored for an opportunity to work with you on realizing such a deserved vision. Thank you very much, Carmelo, and back to you.
Thank you, Michael, for your valuable contributions to the ongoing discussion on the proposal presented by the Global Sustainability Agents of the New York Sustainability Lab program. Your input has contributed to shaping our collective opinion on this matter, and these contributions channel us towards debate, deliberation, and the necessary opinion on the proposal that is being presented based on the reflection that flows from the global sustainability agents participating in this program, which is inspired by the New York Sustainability Lab. So, moving forward, we would like to share some brief notes on La Palma's future. In our opinion, this proposal and the experience gained from it and can contribute significantly to sustainable education for La Palma's future. It indicates that La Palma requires a comprehensive and integrated approach that covers all aspects of sustainability. This approach will enable it to advance into the 21st century in harmony with modern ecosystem management practices and human and social society's well-being. The presented approach outlines a scientific methodology for achieving sustainability on La Palma. Its transformative vision is based on the island's resources, capacities, and opportunities in a global context. The future is constantly being shaped as we move forward, and as mentioned in some pages of the report, we are responsible for our actions and decisions as we move towards the future. This report is essential for La Palma to achieve sustainable development. It should be shared widely, studied thoroughly, further developed, and applied effectively. Please note that this document is not a strategic or action plan, but a comprehensive guide that goes beyond those plans. It reflects on the importance of all ingredients in working together the sustainability of La Palma, serving as a seed for new ideas, actions, and proposals to germinate. This thoughtful piece emphasizes the importance of sustainability in La Palma. The reflection contains valuable ideas that can help create a work plan and a shared sense of responsibility among community members. La Palma's vision is to become a laboratory of sustainability for the 21st century, transitioning towards a more sustainable future. And we are open to receiving contributions and reflections, and will then proceed to a debate where any question can be asked if you want to. And I would like to warmly welcome Professor Carlos Fernandez, who is present in the audience today. He has played an instrumental role in developing the program on the island of La Palma and has contributed significantly to its success. Over to you, Carlos. Thank you, Carmela, for your kind words. I want to express my gratitude to those who presented before me. I will share a personal reflection of my experience with the GSF program and also a vision of the impact it has had on the island of La Palma. Firstly, let me explain that we are dealing with a unique experience here. This experience focuses on international development and involves people from 30 different nationalities with different visions, backgrounds, disciplines, and knowledge. And this program is known as the Sustainability Laboratory, and it provides a valuable opportunity for those who participate, including myself, my colleague Carmelo, teachers who have approached us, experts from the island, the faculty of the laboratory, and the fellows. It is a privileged opportunity to live in an intense time where we will gather ideas and thoughts based on a complex methodology to try to uncover new opportunities. This is the first and foremost fact of this unique and privileged opportunity provided by the Laboratory Ambassadors program developed on the island of La Palma. And this program brings tremendous gratitude and appreciation, as pointed out by the Vice President of the Island Council, to all who have made it possible to have this program on the island. So I would like to express my gratitude as well. The program's participants or agents have become universal ambassadors for the island. The contributions and efforts made by different administrations, such as the Island Council and the Cabildo Tourism Council, must also be recognized and recharged. As ambassadors of the island, we recognize its potential to overcome challenges. Despite the volcano's catastrophic impact, it has also provided opportunities for reflection and contextualization. And without it, we may not have had the chance to learn from such experiences. So, in this sense, the program presents an external, decontaminated vision beyond the Canary Islands. This vision is multidisciplinary, based on qualitative approaches. Vanessa mentioned earlier that the program combines over 400 variables in analyzing La Palma, making it an extraordinary complex as a whole. This mixing of variables is unprecedented and represents a new way of analyzing the island. Congratulations to the team for the excellent work. And also, congratulations to the laboratory for presenting this report, which encourages us to think about a vision and the main aspects that affect not only La Palma, but the entire world. Due to the climate emergency, our world is undergoing significant changes, and this report serves as a reminder that the past shapes the future. It's important to consider the context of the challenges faced to create effective designs that align with the 2030 SDGs. Vanessa has pointed out some of these challenges, including economic diversification, the need for a productive matrix, demographic challenges such as the population aging, and efforts to retain the younger population, and challenges related to territorial cohesion, such as housing problems and island mobility. The impacts of the volcano must have been taken into account. So let's aim to realize the island's tremendous potential in this challenge. One of the program's most important goals is to recognize that the island holds many promises. Professor Jose Rivero Ceballos once spoke about the islands of La Palma's abundant resources and exuberance, which can provide a unique advantage. So let's talk again about exuberance in different conditions in terms of the sky, in terms of territory, diversity, in terms of sea. Therefore, the context of contrasting our challenges will speak to us of intelligence, about the power of the present resources on the island, how such a small territory with this context of exuberance can grow. So I would specify 3 or 4 things and some final ideas. Initially, this repeated idea of La Palma as a laboratory does not refer to the future, as La Palma is already a laboratory. The volcano makes us even more of a laboratory, a place to observe the sky, a place of knowledge and diversity, a place to study the existing climatic changes in and the sea. So why don't we just put this process that we've already doing on the agenda? The problem has been wholly nourished for decades, not years of sustainability agendas here and there, of this type of project or of another kind of deepening in realities. We do not formulate an agenda. We rather want to be a reference for developing sustainability coordinates, devoid of all semantics and very devoid of updating that a planet in ecological transition needs. In this sense, we say it is an opportunity many times, and it is also a result of the program. We have to measure and analyze it based on a set of different indicators and analyzers that allow us to see beyond the simplifying economic indicators, that if income, that is employment, that is the number of tourists. So we also analyze ourselves in terms of what we mean by quality of life. Regarding the fundamental question, the program highlights the difference between growth and development. It's not so much more, and let me worry so much about it is so far it's better. So we do better by going deeper into the process. So here I would like to incorporate a third idea, a laboratory as the first idea, the concept of the new indicators as the second idea, and a third idea, which at first was even shocking, but then you get a sense that it is the essential element of all of this. The laboratory incorporates, as Michael pointed out at the beginning, and Vanessa too, those three conventional dimensions of economic, social, cultural, and environmental sustainability. It includes the material dimension. They incorporate the dimension linked to that would be elements such as the energy, water, transport, and they point out that dimension that they mention as a spiritual value. This dimension on the island of La Palma has its weight. It is a very small community, but it is a vast community based in many cases on mutual aid, something that was shown by the solidarity potential represented by the volcano emergency, and also in other cases. It is a society based on a very decisive intergenerationally from the point of view of aging, a society with a particular social capital with an inclusive conception. Spirituality is used in terms of the relationship between people and the relationship with the environment. So the approach to that dimension for sustainability from the point of view of value would represent what we want to be as an island, what our proposal is, and our deep longing for transition as an island. And then you say there is no different society or welfare society if it's not based on a society of values. We enjoy a privileged place of meager cost, security, human relations, intensity, opportunities, and coexistence that others would like to have for themselves. I won't go too long, but on the central axis of our modeling in wanting to be in a different way, longing for and enhancing what we have that others would want for themselves and that we enjoy. And in that, I would land on more of the aspects that one manages and advocates for, which is the issue of productive diversification. I would see that the work of the GSF put some accents on this that we are so concerned about in terms of employment and ecological stagnation of the island. Vanessa has pointed everything out. We have to do an extraordinary job. The fundamental matrix is diversification from the point of view of a process of deepening agroecology, that perspective or the ecology associated with all our productions and crops, working on internal diversification. An essential element that is rarely mentioned is food sovereignty, and our Cabildo Agricultural Council is one of the food sovereignty in terms of sovereignty for us, for a region, diversification, and represents the resilience from the agroecological point of view. The problem has more than 15 projects linked to agroecology issues, and this is a fundamental line of work to take advantage of science with its potential. And we have the astrophysicists, the upcoming observatories, the debate of also incorporating science, such as the volcanism, an opportunity that will also lead us to another type of tourism. Tourism can never forget to be more than just sustainable, regenerative, and caring. It has to be caring for people, especially the people who come to this island. If we think about our model of implantation, our model of the plan, it has to be a caring tourism, right? Um, we're talking about digital nomads or corporate nomads that we have here with the Pfizer, and at small scale, small beauty. So I think that I would say that the most difficult and most challenging is the factor of governance, an appropriate governance to qualify the processes that lead us, let's say, to a different scenario in a world that has changed, and we need to make a design in that world that has already changed, not to use obsolete, outdated models. So, to some extent, we need to use what this program has been for us, an inspiration. And I would say that the laboratory, your presence here, Professor Benelli, and all your team, Vanessa, the laboratories that have been with us, has been very, very inspiring for all of us in order to walk a path that is not difficult but possible. So I invite you to do that. That's my final thought. Thank you very much, Carlos, for this profound reflection. And next, we will open the floor to questions from the audience who are expressing some concerns. There's a concern about the availability of the report. The report is available online. You can download it by simply typing in Google Global Sustainability Agents Program or GSF La Palma. Likewise, there are some questions related to the first steps. I mean, the first steps that to be taken for the program in order to implement the conclusions. Maybe Vanessa could comment on how to prioritize the steps to implement the recommendations contained in the report. Vanessa, please. Yeah, hi, everybody. Well, we mentioned it in a very general way, both Michael and myself. And I'd like to hear from Michael as well, but as general guidelines and as a basis for this transition, it is important to align a vision between different sectors to reach the concept of a sustainable island. Generating goals and indicators for the island and a long term sustainable development plan is essential. The island would start transitioning to rethink how tourism could be regenerative and start working to implement more agroecology. It is necessary to start strengthening these short term structures to generate the transition structures for the future. Again, we consider that this would be the first step, but maybe Michael wishes to give a specific answer to this question or give a message as part of the invitation that he mentioned before.
First is to take a step back, to forget the report, and to ask what needs to be together, what needs to be put together in order to address the question of that vision. Who who should be involved in committing the islands, not to discussing those things, but to actually pursue them. What kind of organization has to be put together in order to orchestrate all the activities that needs to be synthesized and harmonized to bring a comprehensive result. So the report itself is useful in the sense that it ignited people's imagination. It put on the table a lot of topics that are important to discuss. But we now have to ask the question if the authorities and the people in La Palma are serious about pursuing the vision that is articulated here, and in particular, making La Palma a model to the world. Who has to authorize it? How can resources be put together to pursue it? Who needs to make the decision that that will happen? How can we ignite the public and the government and everybody else involved imagination? How can we inspire the correct kind of group of people to come together and do it? It is clear, at least to me, that the actual organization for realizing such a vision is not in place. That's in the nature of the fragmentation that I tried to talk about earlier. So if you want to move seriously to take some of the concepts that were raised during the summer and make them a reality, there's quite a bit of preparatory work. You have to build the foundations that can carry that kind of an endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. In relation precisely to the last point you made, there's also some concern from the audience. An anonymous listener asks if the politicians already have this report. And there's another question, Maria Jose Ramos. She's asking if there's some political commitment already to implement this vision, to develop and implement the conclusions. She even asks, is there some kind of regulation on sustainability? I don't know if Carlos could contribute something on this issue. Well, first of all, thank you for the interest and for the questions. The document has been disseminated in the last few days. It is available as an analysis, not only for the general public, but also obviously for the institutional level, to those who have been the parties that have cooperated with the development of the program. However, it is, let's say, a document that has just been delivered, not discussed. In that sense, we need to point out some issues. This moment that we are having right now is part of the extended process beyond what the GSF program was. We have to take into account that La Palma has many actions. And as Professor Michael Ben-Ali has pointed out now, in that segmentation or encapsulation of programs, actions, and strategies which are so common in the public administration, there are some agendas that need to be interconnected. Let's say this would be one of the first steps in modeling a strategy for developing sustainable, integrated development on the island. We could also find ourselves in a loop situation, and we are only just got started on this. The growths from the two universities, Carmelo Leon with the chair of tourism from UNESCO Las Palmas, and we at the University of La Laguna is an extended arm, facilitators in this process of reflection. It was also pointed out here in the questions if this document was available to the parties. It is available to the citizen, to any organization, and we also offer ourselves as part of the debate. So what it does is an attempt to open our eyes, to put the spotlight on, to generate, let's say, a contrast of idea to what was repeated business as usual, how things are commonly done. We have received, let's say, a lot of interest. We have indeed received interest from the Island Council, from local stakeholders, personal conversation. We are being followed by the councillors from the Cabildo in this presentation and the representatives of the regional government. So it is our path and our decisional line that in the future we want to foster this process that is not necessary, is a process that is indispensable. There is no other line, there's no other way. I don't consider, very honestly, that it is no other path to follow in a very complex context as we're experiencing on this planet. Thank you very much, Carlos. We don't have time for much more debate either. And well, there are no more questions from the floor. Therefore, we have reached the end of this event. And as a conclusion, we have undoubtedly highlighted that La Palma has a future inspired by a vision of sustainability, and thus this document that we are presenting today will serve as support for this future, which has to involve the whole society of La Palma to build a sustainable future after volcanic crisis. I want to thank all those who have participated in this event as spectators, all the audience, as well as the speakers, Mr. Fernando González, Dr. Ben Eli, Vanessa Armendaris, Paula Clemente, Carlos Fernandez, and all those who have made this event possible. Of course, the Sustainability Lab in New York, Dr. Binelli as an inspirer and proponent of groundbreaking ideas for a better world, and to FIDE Caja Canarias for enabling the live broadcast to the sponsors and partners of the project, the La Palma Island Council and its Department of Environment and Tourism, the regional government and its departments for the Presidency, Agriculture and Ecological Translation, the Biosphere Reserve of La Palma, the Chamber of Commerce of La Palma, the Association of Rural Tourism and Rural Development of La Palma, the Institute of Astrophysics of the Canary Islands, and the Canary Islands University. To all the experts who participated in the preparatory meetings, in the information they provided, to all the social agents, to all the citizens of La Palma who have participated in this program, thank you very much and good afternoon to all of you. Bye-bye.